Here we go. RRQ Rio of Indonesia. Celcom DG Alliance from Malaysia. Boing Donkey ID representing Indonesia. From Vietnam, Team Secret. D Plus Kia from Korea. Kago Saka of Japan. Stalwart Esports representing Mongolia. 77 of Georgia. From China, Thunder Talk Gaming. The Vicious representing Mexico. Regnum Karya Bra Esports from Turkey. Brute Force of United Arab Emirates. From Brazil, Team Liquid. Influence Rage of Brazil. DRS Gaming from Nepal. From Mongolia for Miracle Vibes. PUBG Mobile fans, with everything on the line, I want to know from you at home, which three teams will clinch their spot in the grand finals as Group Green action starts now.
Hey guys, AWG here. Did anyone hear do Brazil? Team Liquid in the house. Do Brazil! Do Brazil! That's all I got. It's really early in the morning here over in Europe, and I completely caught Hot Chicks and Max off guard. They're not really having it, but I'm just capping here the host for the PUBG Mobile Global Championship 2024 League Stage. And of course, you got Hot Chicks and Max joining me. Gentlemen, start off with you, Max, this time, because I always seem to start with Hot Chicks. We're back yet again. It's Group Green, the final group here of the League Stage. I'm curious to see who the hell's gonna get out of this group.
Hey guys, it's the 9WG here. Welcome back. No, but in all seriousness, Jason, I'm very excited because we've got some really good teams here, and you got the mustache that's been growing. I just saw. Well, it's been growing.
November.
I just got jump scared by a mustache. No,
I had handlebars. I went handlebars, and then my fiance is like, "I'm not gonna be a fiance anymore if you do that." So I had to have it down. But Jukes, you're always looking clean, always looking fresh, man. Group Green on the menu today. 4 days of nonstop action. We've had upsets in both group yellow and red. I don't know what green's going to serve us.
That's right. Yeah, we had the group of death. We had the group of entertainment. And I don't know what we're going to name this group, but it's definitely not going to be the group of disappointment because this is still quite a stacked group. There's still plenty of OGs in here. You got Team Liquid entering the fray. I'm excited.
Of course, pretty balanced, Liquid, Max. They have the white hair buff minus Cardoso.
Yeah, like I was like, man, some teams typically they have one player with the white or the red hair. No, they have three. Team Liquid are here to play. I'm scared, Jason. That's too much power, okay? They broke their limits. They're going side time on us right now, so be careful, Team Liquid. They're going to do 1v4s all over the place. Oh, scary.
I was thinking more Ultra Instinct, personally, but gentlemen, I mean, obviously the teams you have already qualified through. Looking at Group Yellow, you have Team Spirit, DRX, Alpha 7, Group Red throwing out Navi, TJB, Enigma Galaxy. I would say Group Red definitely had some surprises in the likes of Navi, and I would say Neighbor Galaxy as well, to be fair. As we take a look here at, of course, all the teams that are participating, but more importantly, what region they're coming from, I kind of want to throw it to you off the bat, Max. Like, which teams in our group are you going to be currently kind of eyeing and looking at?
I think the not send 4MV was going to be a bit, of an insult to the squad. So I think we have to say 4MV okay. I think that after, especially PMWC, they were very disappointed after that performance on the global stage. They're going to come back even stronger. And this is a team that showed in CSA they are the true best team in that region. Of course, Doc being the MVP, this guy is a menace as an IGL player, as a utility player, as a fragger. For me, he is the guy that currently is just anything lower than top 3 or even first place for them is going to be a disappointment. So they're going to try their best to send it the entire way.
And Hot Chicks, obviously, we do have some big candidates coming in from the Americas, Team Liquid and Influence Rage. And obviously some insanely strong teams when it comes to Brazil and Americas as a whole. But realistically, how are they going to compare against the likes of teams from all around the globe?
Oh, it's going to be tough, that's for sure. I mean, I think Team Liquid by far is going to be the most prepped kind of going into this one. You got Knight as the coach, and this squad has really made a big statement, especially when it comes into the America side of things. That's going to be one of the big teams I'm going to be looking at here. Influence Rage, they're one of those squads that, man, they got a lot riding on them. I just keep thinking about, what was it, PMGL Brazil, where we saw a good fan rocking a sign that had Influence Rage on a tombstone. You know what I'm saying? So
metal.
Ever since then, I think these guys have had a little chip on their shoulder, and they're really trying to prove themselves. If they're going to do it, this is the place to do it for sure.
Yeah, definitely looking to dethrone Alpha 7 as the top dog when it comes to Brazil and Americas as a whole. But if you missed out on the prior weeks, well, where have you guys been? You missed out on Group Yellow, Group Red as well. And of course, we're starting things off with Group Green. But most importantly, coming up next week, the survivors from these 3 groups will all be going head to head until we do have our top 16 to play in our last chance. And from there, only 6 more teams can actually join the likes of the 9 qualified here from our group stage into the grand finals, which honestly, I don't know where the hardest part of the stage is, Max. I'm looking probably towards last chance, at least it's 6 slots compared to 3, but the competition is so much closer.
Survival stage and last chance, you have to make it through 2 different stages at the same time, Jason. And again, just as a quick little recap, quick little refresh of the teams are currently going through survival stage, okay? The Xavier, you got Falcons, you got I8, you got IWNRX, you got Mira and Sejong who are playing insane in their week, Tiamba, Vampire. Like, do you really, Jason, want to go through the survival stage and last chance? I'm going to tell you, looking at this group, maybe for some of these squads, their best opportunity to head to the grand finals would be this event right here, this group for Group Green, because survival stage, I'm telling you, it's going to be a tough run to try and make it to the finals. So here, you must try your best to make in top 3.
Yeah, I think there were some mixed answers when it came to like what's the group of death, and I think we could all agree. We could put everything aside and say the last chance is the group of death in the end of the day here, considering the caliber of teams. But you can see here, of course, how the point system is going to be working, pretty much standard to how we've had throughout the last years. And not to mention, Hot Jukes, at $3 million. If you were gifted $3 million right now, Hot Jukes, that's a lot of 20 bucks. First of all, it's a lot of $20 bills. What would you do with it?
First off, make sure I give a 20 to one of those Infinix people so I can get one of the phones, because I'm the only one on the desk that doesn't have one, and the rest of it's probably UC giveaways, for sure. Support the people.
That's a lot of
Jason?
UC.
So over $2.9 million in just UC giveaways.
Hey, what can I say, man? You know what? My following is going to explode. Let's go.
Well, you know what? When you start those giveaways, let me know. I'm definitely gonna sign up for these. But as we take a closer look here into our teams in Group Green, one thing that's gonna stand out here, gentlemen, South Korea has been fantastic so far here in the league stage. D plus Kia, can they replicate the performance of Mir and Sejong and DRX? That's the question for me.
They are the true OG South Korean team, Jason, when it comes to the global scene of PUBG Mobile Esports. I mean, especially, man, they're the guys who brought the DBS to the global scene for the first time. So they're taking the blame for that, at least, in my sense. But realistically, D plus Kia are looking fantastic. This team has been looking to play great locally in particular. But yeah, some standout players on this team, Jason. I'm looking especially at Osala and Fabian, that these guys, we've seen them every once in a while go to global, and every time they come to the global stage, if it's PMWC, if it's PMGC, they tend to be just these massive standout fragging players, Fabian in particular. So I'm really excited to see how they're going to fare, and especially are they going to play center, are they going to play edge, because they played a bit of both. And with the mix we had in Group Red and Group Yellow, what are we going to get this time? It's hard to predict.
Yeah, and I think predicting anything isn't just has proven to be impossible when it comes to our groups, perfectly honest with you. I mean, I think we all had our predictions of like who our top 3 teams would be, and honestly, we were all kind of completely wrong with it. I mean, we did get a couple here or there, but I think that's kind of the exciting part of PUBG Mobile Esports at the moment right now, Hot Jukes, is that really any team could be the top dog in the group, could be the top dog of the entire event and take home a trophy. It's just really anyone's game.
For sure. And that's kind of the hard part, especially as an analyst, because you're diving deep, you're trying to figure out, all right, yeah, you know, we're going to see these teams at the top, we're going to see these teams in the middle, at the bottom, and it's just not like that anymore. I mean, we're seeing squads on the edge in Group Red have success, then we see Group Yellow, center teams, you know, kill it. It's just, I'm excited to see what happens here today.
Well, you know what? That excitement can only be contained in the Infinix GT20 Pro, the official device here at the PUBG MOBILE Global Championship 2024, not to mention the World Cup happening back in July with its 120 FPS and 144 Hertz AMOLED screen. Hold on, we gotta make the Jukes jealous. Give me 1 second. It's right next to me. I gotta pick it up off screen. What's this? Should we, you know, how does it feel to be the meat in our Infinix GT20 Pro sandwich, Hot Jukes?
Give me it. It feels great.
Feels great.
I mean, I would imagine it feels kind of sad, but you know what? You guys at home, make sure you check out all of our socials here at PUBG MOBILE Esports, whether it's on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, TikTok. And on top of that, we still have tickets available for the grand finals kicking off in London between the 6th and 8th of December. You guys can go get yourself a ticket right now so you can go participate in some activities going to be happening on site, meet some players, meet some talent, and have a fantastic time, not to mention the good food. I'm definitely look forward to some food there that I can't get in Italy. And also, on top of this, Max, you know what you can do? Not only can you follow Pandemonium_News on TikTok, you also follow PMGC 2024, and make sure you search for any video related to what's all happening here at this event. We always have some great content being produced and shown out here by a lot of content creators and, of course, fans supporting their own teams. And on top of this, another one, Maxman, cue it up, another one. The PUBG Mobile version 3.5 Ice Frontier is now available. The Ice Age is calling you and command the frozen battleground with ancient creatures, mammoths, and saber-toothed tigers. The flames of Icefield rekindle now. Make sure you guys go check it out. I think us 3 are gonna have to go hop on a game here at some point today.
I was going to give it a try tonight. If I don't come back, I went down to the dragon. Okay, unfortunately, he's too powerful, but I'll try my best tonight.
Save you.
Please help me, Hot Jukes, defend me.
I mean, last time we played, I think Hot Jukes did kind of carry us back in Saudi Arabia.
We don't talk about.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. You know what? It's because I was fully prone while playing. That's what it was. The stability.
Yeah, but you were smart because we had 7 in the room, and we remember that hot air rises. So you were actually being very smart laying on the ground like that. But gentlemen, as we do obviously head in towards these games, one team we're going to also have to talk about here is Undertalk. When it comes to China, we've only seen TJB really show up, and I'm kind of not disappointed necessarily, but I'm kind of curious what the top dog of PEL is going to show us today.
I think that when it comes to fragging power, you got some players that stand out. I mean, we know Flower C, Jason already. He's did a standout performance last time in PMWI, then the last season of PMWI a year and a half ago. He was a standout player there, but now I've really got to highlight a player that I feel like is the first time we're really mentioning on the global stage. It's AJ. This guy's been a regular season MVP in 4 for PL, and he's been incredibly consistent throughout the entire months of that tournament. So AJ, I'm telling you, for this tournament, he could literally be an MVP of this group, and maybe if they can qualify, maybe of the entire PMGC for 2024.
Yeah, a lot of maybes, a lot of uncertainties here, Hot Jukes. But quickly before we head into this game, what are you looking at for Sandhawk?
I mean, for Sandhawk, I'm looking to see who's going to be dropping, of course, on that northwestern side of the map, because we saw so much success in it in previous groups, because every single time that circle went onto that side, I mean, teams were having so much success. So I want to see if squads will try to even fight for it a bit because of how powerful it is. Now, even if the zone does go back to mainland, we could still see some serious plays. So I'm really interested to see just kind of how that plays out, Jason.
Yeah, we've seen a lot when it came to I feel like our last group, a lot of adaptations, a lot of questionable decisions as well, thinking back of teams not rotating over towards the Northwest Island, but we definitely had very interesting Sandhawks, obviously being only played once, throughout each day. It's not a map you necessarily want to focus on, but we've seen the likes of like I8, last group, have fantastic performances on it.
Yeah, it can be a good map for some teams. I'm going to say if you're 77, I'd be a bit scared, Jason, because they drop in Trifecta, River Trifecta, and that is right next to 4MV. And we've said it many times in CSA, Jason, they punish teams to drop around Trifecta. So 77, you need to be careful.
We'll see if punishment will commence here as we're going into our first map of Group Green. John, Out, and Blake, nice to have you two gentlemen back once again. Let's dive into it.
Glad these teams.
See them getting that direct invite into PMGC. As we all know, that grand final invite is going to be so important to a lot of teams, just in terms of being able to prep a lot more and even just having that glory on the line for themselves.
Taking a look at these drop spots, Max is right on the 77 drop spot that's spread out on the south side. Looks like might have a little stretch up from Noato on that southwest edge near that ruins position. That could be punished, but it looks like it's fairly safe for now. And that wide split goes uncontested by 4MV.
Yeah, Naruto's actually pretty far out towards that eastern side. For 77, that wide split they take into consideration. It's an interesting one because like a lot of teams have steered away from this wide split in recent years, just because it has become quite dangerous in terms of teams being able to drop on top of it. I think taking this spot over on the first match of the group stage, not a bad idea. I don't think a lot of people are going to be pressing you out on this position. So I think that for 77, this is actually an ideal time to pull out this wide split, especially now that you have this western shift on the circle where it looks like it could head over towards that south side or over towards the northwest. But I'm expecting 77 to do very, very well in this group stage. They're one of the teams that I 100% have set my sights upon, and we'll see what they can get done here.
Absolutely. I mean, the last team to come into the mix, well, them and Brute Force, right, from the EMEA region, and trying to keep up pace with the teams that have come before them is going to be a tall order, right? We saw that in both of the previous groups, and I will keep bragging about this, coming through and covering the EMEA region. They have both so far topped the tables when it comes to the previous two groups, Group Red and Group Yellow, with Team Spirit and Na'Vi towards the top. Great to see. So we'll have to wait to see if 77 or Brute Force can keep up that track record and maintain the strength of EMEA in the face of all the other regions who are looking to put down the rubber on the road and accelerating towards the top.
It's a funny one, considering now there is a ton of pressure. But to me, I think an obligation to you guys, the viewers at home, is that for Na'Vi, Team Spirit, I still think the 77 out of those two teams, out of three teams now, they are the most consistent out of those three. Now, I'm expecting 77 to do very well here. I'll be disappointed if they don't. But it would be cool to have another EMEA team on top. But like we're saying, it's a lot of pressure now. Two teams have made it in at that top spot. It's down to Brute Force and 77. But we do have some other very, very strong teams inside the lobby. For instance, Team Liquid, really, really good teams. 4MV also very, very strong coming into this one, and a couple of the squads here that we might be seeing blasting off, because I think that we do have a fair few squads here that have real explosive potential inside of this lobby.
Ooh, Stalwart trying to cross up on the north side, getting slowed down. And it's going to be difficult to make this approach with that elimination already through. Stalwart have to just stop on this bridge, and this is a really difficult route out there. The exfiltration very, very tricky, and they've got Team Liquid as well pushing up from the south side. It's caught right now in a pneumatic press for Stalwart, and I don't know if they're going to be able to weather this one, Blank. I mean, they get that early knock over towards Team Liquid and do actually get the flush, but that's going to draw attention to them. And because they're split two on the bridge, one up on the high ground, that player up on the top really doesn't have any cover to work with.
The problem with this location is that eventually teams like Brute Force, Team Secret, they're all going to make their way over towards that western side, but Stalwart continues to lose players. 4MV even finds a player over towards RTB there. So that is a nice little pick off for them to find, nice and early into the game.
Voin Donkey ID just taking those shots towards the approaching players across the bridge. But they are actually, hang on a minute, Team Liquid, they went for a swim, or they're trying to, seemingly. They've already managed to get to the mainland, and they are trying to sweep the leg on the hold, the stance that Voin Donkey ID have been taking. Something Stalwart definitely weren't able to achieve. They tried to go straight into the face of it, but Team Liquid go around the edge, sneak in the back door, and Voin Donkey ID lose a player and the compound towards their south.
Which is really not good at all. Here's that initial spray down coming through. Razor actually hitting some very nice shots there as they flew on forwards. Here's Sanshir up against Cardozen. Sad to see Team Liquid already lose a player, but they do get a bit of a refrag on their side, take them one elimination early. Team Liquid, hyper-aggressive team, very, very strong, very similar to Alpha 7, even in terms of strength, I would say. I think Team Liquid has required a little bit more time in the oven, but I do think they're a very, very good team and not one to count out here. I think in the past we've seen Mythic sort of just absolutely go bonkers on some of his matches. Shots again across the way. Very aggressive start to this lobby, actually.
Everyone's trying to cross quickly, and it's seemingly quite a difficult approach, but it's going to work out for Brute Force. They actually managed to get all 4 of their players across, but they're not safe yet. You can see Chief is ready. He wants to take these shots, but they're across the headland, and it does seem to be that Brute Force have made the mad dash.
A quick maneuver, very, very quick maneuver from Brute Force. One that was somewhat unexpected as well. Considering they start in Cow, likely you would usually go for that Western Bridge crossing. They must have heard the engagement over there, must have seen the knocks coming through and thought, you know what, it is wise for us to take that crossing. We're going to head over towards the shallows, make a quick send across. Some might say that's maybe a little bit more dangerous, but again, they've made it through 4 players. So for Brute Force, it is happy days for them. Really good news.
Yes. Really solid now position on the east side of that Northwest Island. We've seen quite a few Northwest Island finishes. And at the moment, we only have one team sat towards the top, and that is Thunder Talk Gaming, right? The team that has the 2-time champion King on side, and they are right now at the top of the mountain. RRQ trying to make the push on in, but there is stiff resistance. They'll lose 1 on the roll-up. It looks like they're going to have to divert. It goes away from the Northwest Island on the ship. This is great news for CAG Osaka, as well as RCB over on that south side near the ruins.
CAG Osaka is a big opportunity. Now, I don't want to see this throw us away. They're down towards the pontoons on that western side, but I think a lot of teams from this location have in the past sort of saddled themselves out of the game, right? They've sat over towards that western side far too long, not done too much. But I don't think we'll see CAG Osaka actually go for a more passive approach here. I think they'll try and take control. They already headed over towards that little beachhead over on that north side, the slopes. They head down that way, which gives you a lot of advantageous positioning versus the teams coming through from Camp Alpha. And they retreat over to the pontoons. God damn it.
They're all the way backed up there. I mean, everybody is going to crunch. These crossings are really difficult. Brute Force are moving so fast in this lobby. They are making incredible headway on these rotates and actually finding these little openings, which I'm unsure right now as to whether they are fully scouted. That seemed like it was just a reaction rotate, but still well done to find that little slice on the north side of that southwest island. Shots from RCB. They are defending ruins from RRQ right now, who have taken up the middle area. The res can come through, so they will play on as 3 for RRQ.
RCB, a weird team, very weird team. I think they have very strong players on side, but as we saw in PMSL EMEA, they had these moments of greatness, which really did outshine practically everyone inside the lobby, but then massive portions of downtime from the squad. I don't really know how you fix that, because that feels like just a day-to-day, are we feeling the game type of thing. So yeah, they're very up and down, but when they're up, they do look like the kings of the mountain, but when they're down, they're hand squalor. So we'll see what RCB can do inside of this lobby. I'd really, really quite like to see some more insane plays coming through from Loxy, as well as Silas, but will I be treated to it? That's another story entirely.
Only 1 player left for Stalwart now. A lot of teams getting shredded, and this cross from the Northwest Island is really, really unfortunate, forcing all the teams that made some fairly intelligent rotates, like Team Liquid, to now contest for the river crossings down on the south side. A wide rotation coming through from Team Secret out on that west edge as well, Blank, that is yet to make landfall, may be contested by the pontoon position for CAG Osaka, or DRS over towards Tambang on that west side. This is pretty close by, but currently Thunder Talk are on the other side of the hill from Zeta, which means that in general they're not going to have that quick peek over towards him. He's still on that Northwest Island though, and I think that as split as they are, it's going to be difficult. This is an interesting decision for Team Secret to try and make landfall here. You've got to be aware that it's likely there's a team still trapped on this area and not go for that position down towards the south. maybe it's just a read in, say, we've got a better chance at bridge crossing than finding an unoccupied position on the west near Tambang, and an immediate spray down may have changed their minds. A triple coming on through. That is a beautiful little hold there by Razor. Only one player now left for Team Secret.
I think that boat rotate is a thing of the past, honestly. I really don't like it. So for them to try and go for this one and then rotate in on here, yeah, it might have worked, but I just think so many teams are now aware of this type of play, and it opens you up to so many angles of failure that I just don't see a lot of teams make it happen. I would have actually much preferred to see them try and push through Camp Alpha and then play off the back of Thundertalk. So yeah, it's annoying to see them go for this one. In the meantime, there is a lot of action popping off right now, and I'm more curious to see what's happening on the bottom right of our screen rather than this last player getting naded out in the water. But damn.
It's 4MV going for a scrap as well with Celcom Digi Alliance over on the east side. 4MV do win it out. I think that's a third-party entry from actually the last player of Stalwart over on the east side. 4MV, they've lost one player, but they should be able to get the res. They've managed to get 4 eliminations. Goodness me, what a pop-off on the northwest side of Painan. We're look at a little picture of it.
Yeah, obviously we're getting a lot of pips going on right now, which is nice to see in terms of there being too much action or even our observers to contend with, which is fair enough. It has been extremely aggressive, though I think the most interesting rotation for me so far in terms of movement happening on the map has been Brute Force. It was a pretty stellar rotate they made across from boot camp to the western side and then somehow teleported over towards the northern side of this south circle. It's a super good rotate from them, and to be honest with a team that was in Cow being further into the match than a team like Team Secret, super good stuff from them. In the meantime, Zeta going crazy, taking down King as well. Almost an insane push there, but mostly done off the back of Razor with some crazy knocks on his side.
Yeah, the double 2-shot pump action 1v2. Not pump action, sorry, DBS. Really solid hold there, Razor. I mean, they're just still picking up these players from Team Secret. One player to contend with actually might be a little bit harder than that. They're out the blue zone as well, so do need to be worried. That might be Razor just going down. Team Secret, are they going to get the res here? Are they going to get the med off? They do. It is stage 3, which makes it possible. Goes for the flush, steps out to the rock. Break, I mean, he has about 30 seconds to get this res in stage 3. Could enact it.
I do think no matter what happens, it's going to be very difficult getting across this bridge regardless. For any of these teams on the north, you've got Influence Rage as well as Team Liquid. Zeta's likely to go down. Thundertalk is desperately living for as much time as possible. I think for VO, it's not a bad situation for them, considering they're able to get 5 eliminations, which a lot of times on Sandhawk, not a horrible result. I do think the craziest thing about this, though, is that we have 15 teams still remaining, 43 players, a lot of solos remaining here. That's all about to change as we get this circle down towards the south side, which is going to create such chaos in the north.
Yeah, DRS right now in that middle position in that compound, looking to try and hold it out. They have only got 3 players, though, in their compound towards the west side, just around Tambang. We're looking at RRQ making a dash out of ruins as well, trying to cut their path towards this circle and actually doing so fairly successfully. A lot of teams trying to push in towards the middle, and RRQ actually stopping 77. Getting eliminated all the way out. An unfortunate push, attempting to go past the ruins with the remnants of the players that they had. A bit of a mad dash, actually, for 77. But RRQ were just a little bit too fast there.
Yeah, for 77, a hard push. Very hard push for them to make. I think that when you look over towards RRQ spot, though, they have a lot of control over this eastern side. I'm curious to see how Brute Force deal with this.
North side, they will need to push in around that ruins area. Team Liquid, though, on the far side of the bridge, picking up the points before they even go their way. And a nice little pickup there for Influence Rage as well. Holding out on the bridge with Lord down in the middle. It looks like they are getting this res done. Team Liquid now going to try and joust across this tilt yard as Diego goes low, gets knocked as well from across the way. It's a chime in from a third party there. That's CAG Osaka from those docks, still playing that bridge hold. Brute Force are on the other side of it, and they are actually as well just taking shots, getting these lineups. It's so difficult to move off this bridge. Brute Force can pick up a point or two if they're lucky to be able to take those ones away. They've got 2 elims so far. Let's see how much further they can go. It's actually Team Secret to draw last blood from the teams trying to cross. Team Liquid do go down on that approach. And actually the fact that Team Secret didn't go down completely on their position against Void Donkey ID is kind of crazy.
Yeah, they went out to one player, right? It's Jaiki, who's still left alive. I think it's well played to both CAG Osaka as well as Brute Force. I think if you're in these locations on the map where you're west and east respectively, you do have to put a lot of effort into essentially taking down all those teams coming across from the bridge before you can begin your fight against one another, or just disconnect completely into the future. Brute Force, though, they take this opportunity to move down towards the south. They're still on 4 players, 2 limbs, not a bad start to their day. They want more points off the back of this.
Made up to the top, Brute Force. Dealing with Influence Rage, getting rid of them. But now they've got RCB in their way. RRQ taking shots as well, which makes this fight really tricky to maneuver on. For both teams, actually. A little bit more vulnerable for RCB, but Brute Force, they've got 4 players. RCB only playing with the 2, with Wild and Silas on a crossfire. Trying to keep themselves safe. Silas with the smokes, just trying to play that DBS angle. And as a duo against a 4, I mean, this is kind of how you want to play it, right? You know you need to be playing these sneaky angles. On the flip side for Brute Force, they need to be very careful not to overexpose. None of them go down, but there's a trade finally from the inside. Neos doesn't get flushed away, which means Brute Force can continue their approach. The zone hasn't quite moved just yet. They can get this res safely, and they need to get a move on, though, because RRQ know that this is going on. And there's not going to be an easy route out here.
Yeah, this is one of the hardest rotates you can make out of Ruins. With oversight from RRQ, very likely the Brute Force goes down fairly shortly. I think the only thing you can go for in this situation is a full-on battering ram approach over towards RRQ, or try and swing west, but I don't think that's the ideal approach either. So realistically for Brute Force, I think all they need to do is make rock up, hold a backstop, hope that backstop gets a knock on one of the windows from RRQ, and they overwhelm them with numbers. But yeah, for Brute Force, the prospects in the future aren't looking great. It's going to have to take one hell of a play to make this happen. DRS, Gante versus CAG Osaka.
Just the roll-up for CAG Osaka then, and finally leaving from that dockside position. They're moving down. DRS have been entrenched in this position for a while. It's looking good. They've got 3 players. They've managed to get that early pick off the back line as well. So 2 players for them to deal with, Garnet and Naoto. On the back lines, there's a third party from the top of the hill, I think, as well. That's D+ Kia coming on through, playing the compound down to the south side of it. D+ have been a little bit further out of this one, but they have 3 limbs now, and they're starting to mount up. Brute Force, this is that difficult approach that we were talking about. They've already lost 2 on it, and RRQ just not going to let them move a muscle. This should be a South Korean chicken dinner here, though, with this shift away. They have control. They have everything that they could ask for on this approach. It's going to be so hard to make a dent in this.
Yeah, there were... Okay, Freezer. There was pretty much only one option for them, which was to send directly at this compound. Like I said, the Western approach not ideal. Fraser has to step up in this moment. Isn't able to do it, leaving Brute Force with just 1 player going forward. 6 eliminations, top 6 though, not bad. RRQ profits massively off this Ruins hold. Now they look to send it away as they know the circle's heading down towards that south side, and you're right, John. D+ Kia in a fantastic position of control. DRS, BC all need to move in, and RRQ at a diminished position on this north side. They are going to struggle.
Top 6 eliminations for Brute Force. They could have got a little bit more value from the bridge position, but they still get a decent game under their belt to kick things off. A spray now for Neos, potentially catching a knock there, not quite able to connect the full spray. Across to the building, has the bricks to hide behind, but the blue zone will flush him out soon enough. As the first aid will pop, they know the corner he's going to peek. RRQ going to line this one up. There's no way he makes it out, and Neos just going to commit to the blue zone, probably just deny the point here. Maybe try and heal out a little bit longer, hope that someone else goes down, but no. The blue zone claims it. That's the right play for Neos in my book. And 6 eliminations, 6th place to kick things off. Well, we'll see if it's good enough.
It's definitely not bad. It's definitely not bad. I think the dock, though, Everyone knows how good of a player this guy is and already finding some good knocks through. Damn, I thought that might have been a full knockover towards RRQ, actually. It is sad. He was trying to crawl around, stay out sightlines from VC as well as D plus Kia, but it's RRQ taking nasty heavy hits from RRQ. Oh, I mean, DRS with also D plus Kia sending shots and nades over towards DRS at the same time. South Korea looking to completely flush out this northern side as soon as possible and doing a good job of it too.
Osal with a nade over the top, the alley-oop, and RRQ are shut down in the meantime by the Vicious on the off angle. Now that the circle has, well, actually, it's not the circle, it's D plus who have moved all the way out. They've allowed the Vicious to take a lot of ground into this circle blank, giving them a little bit more of an opportunity to take this one home. I wonder what the retransition back towards the middle will look like for them, because this hillside now very firmly under control by the Vicious.
Brenozin on the east side, long lost cousin of Cardozin, as everyone knows. We're looking to have a similar kind of impact. It is a full 4v4 now. DRS in the wings does make life for D plus K a little bit harder. And with his next circle going fairly central, that is a lovely pickoff from Nolbu over towards the high ground. Very important pickoff as well, as that position was so critical for the Vicious here.
Nades over a sneaky little position there, and actually up Reyes into the high ground, looking for the Reyes from the watchtower, and Fabian actually takes the lick, and there's a second as well. Nolbu has to hit the deck, but a big nade nearly. How did that not make it? I think that might have bounced out just in time, but causes the flush to come on through. The D plus move into action. 3 players up and in it, but David is close, manages to get one, but immediately traded off. Reyes up on the high ground, now caught towards the middle. This is a really good retransition from D plus. It's where I was worried for them, but they've managed to make it work, and now Nolbu's going to face first. Chips on the backline with a nade. They know they're both up by the watchtower. Goes high, making sure there's no threats from the high ground, and Nolbu now has the confidence to move forwards. Will sweep aside. Osal on the off angle as well. And D plus put South Korea back on the map. It happened in Group Yellow, sorry, at the start of this tournament. Will it happen again?
Yeah, good game from D plus K. Honestly, that end game was very, very fun to watch. It wasn't passive. It was very aggressive. Brenozin going down, though, terrific mistake from his side. I think what you have to do is you have to play off your teammates from that high ground. But Nolbu finding that knock in the heat of the moment, so fantastic. Let's see what the desk has to say about this game.
Well, gentlemen, I don't know what I'm more impressed with. D plus or the Vicious? Perfectly honest with you, obviously both those teams kind of sit in compound for a long time, but not two of the teams I expected to necessarily be battling for that first chicken dinner of Group Green.
South Korea, Jason. They're back. We're back to Group Yellow.
Getting a Kalaris to record that, you know, like South Korea domination.
the one event Kalaris is not here is like South Korea just dominates. But hot juice, I feel like for D plus Kia, this game was just, we're just going to keep scaring every single circle shift DRS away. We're just going to take their previous position, and it ended up working out. It gave them a game-winning compound.
Hey, I mean, South Korea, it's all about the southern vibes here, because this circle just kept going south. It was ridiculous, because I talked about it right before the game started, how powerful that northwestern island is. So when I saw the zone go there, we've seen it so many times, normally lock on top. But no, it just goes down to ruins and ruins it for so many squads. But I mean, D plus Kia, we're just able to crush it from here. And I love this play at the end, Max. We were talking about that smoke completely eliminating the sight lines from the Vicious. It just made things so much easier for D plus Kia.
And most specifically, it made it really hard for Chips to nade the sniper tower. If they did not have that smoke, I think it would have been an even quicker clear for D plus Kia. But that smoke just gave them a lot of precious time, and especially scouting from the sniper tower with third-person perspective. But here we go, looking at the stats. Noble, here we go. He's going to be a standout. I talked about Osal and Fabian, but Noble being currently the top fragger for his team to get the chicken dinner with a good conversion, actually. 600 damage, 5 limbs. That is looking really solid for their first game. Of course, it is Sanok, but hey, you get lucky circles, you make use of it, and you get a bunch of limbs. This is a really good execution from D plus Kia.
I mean, yeah, like as you're saying, right? I mean, yeah, it just is a Sandhawk, but still, that's 19 points you're getting for your team. More importantly, any one of those points you just got for your team could be the deciding factor whether you make it into the grand finals or not, as we saw over in Group Yellow. So very important here to pick up the win when they should. But one team who maybe hated Hot Juice talking about Northwest Island, because they're like, you know what? Okay, so Duke's talking about it. I believe in him. Let's go Northwest Island. It's a boat out of Team Secret. But in the end, it didn't really go that way, Hot Juice.
I'm not I heard Blanket, he said that he just doesn't like the rotates. I'm not against it personally, because I do think, especially if you land on that area, it's the play, to be honest with you. If the zone did go up north, usually we see teams rotate to like catwalks, and they just kind of go through that area and it's fine. But here we saw Team Secret, I think, get a little bit overzealous, Max. They just went a little bit too far into the zone once that circle shifted. But Blank is right. I think squads are definitely, they're privy to knowing that a rotate is most likely going to come. And that's why we saw a beautiful 1v3 there from Reza. I like the fact that he threw that nade first, right? Yeah. Just to make sure he got that instant knock. He didn't have to, give his position away. And Team Secret just got punished.
It was great execution. You put the nade, it hides your position a little bit longer. You get the knock, and then you can instantly go into a spray. And he got 2 follow-up knocks after the nade knock. So you got 3 knocks in a span of literally 5-10 seconds. So that was really, really quick from Reza. But going back to the rotation point, it's really interesting because you have to understand that once you're coming out of a rotation, you're always going to be in a weakened state, or because you have to swim to the coastline, or because you have to maybe walk a little bit on the beach to make it to your compound. And just to echo what Blank was saying, Blank should be on desk, like, you're making really good points. Maybe they could have sent it towards Camp Alpha a little bit further north, go by foot, maybe pick up a car, and then it would have early information on teams like Team Secret, Team Liquid, Influence Rage, and then have a little bit of better tools at that point to maybe approach them and then make their way into the circle. I still think even then it was not going to go their way because of the circle, but it would have definitely given them a better opportunity to do well on this Sandhawk.
Let's take a look at our rankings. You can see, of course, D+ getting the 19 points for themselves. The Vicious getting 13. RRQ with 10. And RRQ, we haven't seen in a very long time. I think we were discussing during the match. The last time we saw them was like season 0 of PMGC. Very, very long time ago. And then, of course, 4MB here, Hot Jukes, with Doc surviving, able to get them the 3 placement points to go with those 6 eliminations.
Yeah, Doc. We saw him laying down there, and I thought he was going to be able to make a pretty sick play, but he got taken out there towards the end. Man, dude, this guy's a legend. I know that we're going to get into Aerogale in a minute, and then I'm going to keep my eyes locked on him because I'm expecting big things from him and his squad. They really need to start this off strong. D+ Kia, very, very fortunate with this circle. They do land on that kind of like Doc's cave split. So the fact that, they were trying to, it was looking like a really bad game for them. If that zone went into that Northwestern Island, they would have been in really big trouble. Yeah. But since it hard shifted down south, they took full advantage of it. And you got to take those opportunities and maximize them. And they definitely did. 19 points, great start.
Yeah, you give us a great circle. We're going to make sure we use that circle to its full potential to get as many eliminations as humanly possible, which is what we've seen from D+ Kia. We also saw it from the Vicious, but we also have to highlight the Vicious, right? I think that Team Jukes, that if we have to be completely fair, not too many people are really paying too much attention to as a top 3 contender, but this game was very solid. They were in their compound. They do a little bit of a 2-2 split to then take control of the high ground position without taking too big a risk against D+ Kia, then take full control of the mountain in the next circle because they have that early information from that 2-2 split. It was clean. It was on point. Sure, were they not able to win the fight versus D+ Kia? Sure, that didn't quite work out, but rotation-wise, it was pretty solid. So, I'm excited to see if Vicious can do that on the other battlegrounds and not just Sandhawk.
Well, another team I did want to touch on here, Regnum Karya, bro. Max, we were discussing, during the game, Silas, if I'm not mistaken, it's his 5th PMGC, a true veteran of the highest level of competition here. Maybe even laughing a little bit because SRG didn't qualify. Only get 2 points, but they were up towards Ruins.
Yeah, Ruins is always going to be a little bit of a tough spot. Lucky for RRQ, they were able to get out of Ruins, but Regnum Karya was stuck in one of those warehouse-like buildings to the west of Ruins, and leaving that spot when you got teams around you is always tough, and especially Brute Force setting it the way they were doing it, with a bunch of smokes just hiding their transition point, and then just getting close enough to use the DBS, use the UMPs or the M4s, and just completely obliterate them. Good execution from Brute Force, but I think that Ruins is always going to be tough, Jason, so Regnum Karya, maybe the next game we have on Sandhawk, just avoid Ruins because it's not too fun.
Speaking of avoiding, man, Jukes, take a look at the Northwestern Island. You had Team Liquid and Influence Rage there, where Influence Rage kind of got ahead of Team Liquid on the bridge, able to camp them out.
Yeah, and that was kind of crazy because if that zone did go up to that north, they would have been in a really, really great spot to just destroy squads on their way in. But since it did hard shift south, they were just stuck forcing to fight each other. And it's a tough situation. But, when you have a hard shift like that, you just gotta put points on the board, and I think that's what they were going for here. You know, it's one of those games you just gotta shake off. And Arengel's coming up next. That's the time to really start putting in work.
I think Thunder Talk was just like, are we being teamed right now? I've been one Brazilian squad to the left, one Brazilian squad on the bridge. Like, where can we even go? But yeah, a little bit of a rough showing for any team coming in from that Northwest Island. But again, like we're saying, it's Sandhawk. I think your eyes would definitely be towards what Arengel could potentially show us. I'm also...
So next one, DRS. Memang
Kalau tak
dia.
jelas, kalau tak jelas. Weh, mak ai.
5. gelişim. PMGC benim mekanım. Herkes yanına denk olsun.
Sorry guys. Hello, nama saya Keluk daripada tim Selcom DG Alliance.
Hello, saya Jimmy daripada Selcom DG Alliance.
Halo, aku Nerpeko.
Halo, aku Mercy.
Hello guys, this is Killerworthy from DRS Gaming.
This is Sleepy from DRS Gaming.
Merhabalar, ben Regnum Karyabura takımından Saylas.
Ben de Loxi.
Hepiniz hoş geldiniz. Bugün Grup Yeşil'in sıralama tahminini yapacağız. Hepinize iyi seyirler.
Yang pertama adalah kita sendiri, anarki di real. Kita mau taruh diri kita di mana nih? Apa? Tengah-tengah. Berarti kita kedua. Iya.
Anarki'yi 9'a 10'a koyalım.
Ver. Niye ona koydun?
Yani eskiden çok iyi oynuyorlardı. Şu an çok iyi değiller yani. Eski kadrosu değil. O yüzden ona koydum.
So Boy Donkey ni saya merasakan biasanya first day and last day dia baru bakal perform. Mungkin saya letakkan 12.
Sebelahan lah,
Sebelahan. Kenapa kau taruh video di sebelahan?
Biar ini aja, sesama Indo kiri
Sama
kanan.
Indo kiri kanan.
Oh, Team Secret. Team Secret. Kau first time juga?
First time tak? Aku rasa
Okay,
lah.
kau
Tapi
letak.
random ya. Team Secret. Dos mana ni?
Iya.
Good team.
Okay, Selcom DJ Alliance team kita orang. So saya predict mesti ada dalam top 3. Saya predict
Pilih tengah-tengah.
realistik.
Ya. Sabar, kita taruh dia di 4 karena dia suka banget finish di 4 di PPLCH.
Oke, kita taruh di 4 ya.
Iya, taruh di 4 ya. Yang kita taruh di 4.
Nomor 12 tim.
Dan good team.
Next team dek.
Boyfriend.
Bukan. Bukan boyfriend. Nama
BF.
je BF tapi brute force.
Nama.
Nama brute force.
Brute Force bizim bölgenin takımı. Çok garip oynuyorlar ya. Bence
İlk 5'e yaz ya.
ilk 5'ten çıkarlar.
Oh, iya, benar agama. Good team.
Ben bizi 3. sıraya koymak istiyorum.
Evet yani biz birinci çıkacağız.
Oğlum büyük konuşma işte ya.
RCB.
Ada ini.
Ada bekas
Silas.
Bekas PMGC punya champion. Saya predict top 5 lah.
RCB. Wala. This winner solos. Mati dia lah. Dirematin lah.
Seperti ini ya. Lama tim ini.
77 var. Bunlar da çok garip oynuyorlar ya. Bunlar ilk 3'e de gidebilir, gidebilir. Ama bunları da 7'ye koysana.
77 juga nih. Dia yang ngambil skill kita ya. Kamu dibawa aja ah.
So next one STE.
Dia orang ngeri lah.
Team lama tapi player baru. So bagi saya mungkin team ni underdog lah. 8.
ST.
Ini lah tak.
Tau makan ya. Apa yang disebut tim?
Nomor tidak.
Masih dah putus.
Lain lah.
4MV. The regional champions for ni
Sekejap.
The strongest right now
Çok kardeşimiz iyi oynuyor. Birinci sıradan çıkarlar.
I'm reason the best team also. Mau say one merah alhamdulillah. Pas para lulus. Be humble.
We are humble.
Yer kalmadı ya, mecbur oraya koyalım ya.
Aynen.
Üstü koymak
Her
lazım.
takım iyi aslında burada da yani.
DRS bagus sih dia outernya.
Di sini sih berdua nih.
Tengah-tengah
Berdua
lah
lah.
ya, tengah-tengah.
Rebutan sama mereka berdua.
Sama kita ada juga sebenarnya yang rebutan sama kita Lil. Yang kita
Siapa tuh?
waspadai. Ini dia sang kuda.
Tuh.
Sang kuda ini bahaya nih.
Tim Liquid. Onlar da iyi.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry man.
I'm so sorry bro.
Sorry Messi.
Sorry CAG. No disrespect.
Kita orang letak diorang dekat situ sebab diorang pun first time PMGC kan. So kita tak boleh expect lah. Tapi boleh jadi kat miracle jadi kat diorang. Tiba-tiba diorang perform, boleh je. And kita orang harapkan yang terbaik ya untuk diorang.
Kendimizi üçe koymamın sebebi de çok büyük konuşmayı sevmeyen birisiyim ben. Yani hayırlısı deyip geçiyorum yani.
Musuh terbesar mungkin lebih ke diri kita sendiri juga sih, itu paling penting ya. Soalnya ego masing-masing tuh kadang kan kayak walaupun terlihat kayak blunder kecil tapi impact-nya besar bagi tim.
So inilah prediction kita orang untuk Group Green PMGC ni.
लाइभमा आएर सबैजनाले डिएस टिमलाई सपोर्ट गरिदिनु होला धन्यवाद बाई बाई
They stay alive. All 4 of them go, and it is not going to stop here.
Sadece şan ve şöhret için değil, sınırlarımızı zorlamakla ilgili.
It's not just about winning. It's about the sweat and tears that got you here.
Ini bukan tentang sebuah kesuksesan, ini adalah tentang gimana kita bangkit setelah kita jatuh.
Ini adalah demi mereka yang telah menyokong kami akan membawa semula kebanggaan kepada mereka. And this time,
We will give it our all.
To be the one. Yani yeni bir takımım vardı. Sadece o yüzden Dünya Kupası'na çıkamamıştım. Şimdi ama buradayız. Kendi gücümüzü ve kendi gücümü de tekrar göstereceğime inanıyorum. Herhangi bir şey sorgulamadım, normal. Girdim, oyunumu oynadım ve çıktım yani. Çok fazla kasmıyorum yani.
PMGC सेकेन्ड भएको चाहिँ कुनै पनि नेपाली टिमको लागि सबभन्दा ठुलो अचिभमेन्ट थियो। योपालि चाहिँ हामी आफ्नै रेकर्ड बिट गर्नको लागि चाहिँ तयारी गरेका छौँ। कम्पिटिसन चाहिँ हामीभित्र नै हो, सो हामी आफ्नै रेकर्ड बिट गरेर #1 हुन ट्राई गर्नेछौँ।
Kita semua di hari terakhir PMSL saya kemarin, kita semua diberi video dukungan orang tua kita. Di hari terakhir itu bikin semangat kita tuh beda lah. Kita punya tujuan untuk membanggakan orang tua kita.
saya harap bakat-bakat Malaysia dekat sini semua boleh keluar dan masuk dalam esports sini. Saya rasa banyak je lagi bakat-bakat baru nanti. Dengan kejuaraan ini, Malaysia boleh tunjukkan lah yang bakat-bakat Malaysia ni semua power.
Umarım hak ettiğinizi alırsınız. Tek bir hedef, tek bir odak noktası, o da ünvanla ayrılmak. Biz buraya kazanmaya ve izimizi bırakmaya geldik.
सबै टिमहरू जित्नको लागि खेलिरहेको होला, तर डिआरएफले पनि अन्डर एस्टिमेट चाहिँ नगर। हामी चाहिँ गेमको लागि रेडी छौँ, सेकेन्ड प्लेसले हामीलाई पुगेको छैन।
Untuk semua masalah yang kita hadapi, kita akan lebih kuat dari sebelum. Perhatikan kita di sini bukan cuma ngisi slot.
Semua power tak diadu, tapi untuk FMB tu hati-hati lah. Sebab rotation kita pun sama, jangan pandang rendah dekat kita orang.
Here we go, get it up! From the depths, we rise as one. Relentless, resilient, ready. On the flag, for the glory. Only the fierce can survive in the 2024 PUBG MOBILE Global Championship League stage. There are 16 elite squads in Group Green that will face off, but only 3 will advance to the grand finals. Those in 4 to 11 must claw their way through the survival stage, joining 16 other teams from Group Yellow and Red, while the bottom 5 will face elimination. The stakes are high, making every match critical and every play unforgettable. This is a battle where anyone can be the one. At the helm of Regnum Karya Praw Esports, Silas, a 5-year PUBG Mobile veteran and proud 2022 PMGC champion title holder, leads them with the same fire that once took him to the global stage peak. With his unwavering passion and deep love for the game, he rallies his team, pushing them forward to victory. For RCB, it's not just about winning, it's about reclaiming glory together. Do they have what it takes to return to the top? Hailing from Nepal, DRS Gaming embodies resilience. once holding the runner-up spot in 2022 PMGC. They aim to overcome the obstacles of CSA region. Now they are here to be the one. Driven by a spirit that refuses to back down and a team full of selfless individuals who support each other, will they finally have their moment of glory? This year, For Miracle Vibes have been unstoppable, with Doc securing MVP titles in PMSL and building momentum. Many local fans and experts say they are better than Alpha 7 and they might just be the next global champion, with an intense hunger for victory that will stop at nothing to achieve world dominance. Are we going to witness the rise of the next global superstar? Representing Malaysia, Celcom DG Alliance is on a mission to bring home their first world championship. Dubbed the Uncrowned King by Malaysian fans, K-Luke and Alliance struggle to claim their throne as they consistently achieve top 4 throughout this year's PMSL seasons. They fight not only for themselves but for the pride of the nation, hungry for victory on the global stage. Will Alliance finally claim the crown? Group Green is stacked with passion, power, and purpose. 16 teams are looking to prove themselves. Who will advance to London? Who will scrape through the...
Here to continue discussing how the second match can play out. And obviously off the start for South Korea, again, showing that South Korea might be the region to beat currently, as they've already been able to sport DRX to qualify through to the grand finals. Mir and Sejong already showing they can battle with the best here. And of course, D plus Kia starting off strong. Would that count as a white hair buff, Max?
No. I would wear that though.
It's like a cloudy day over their heads 24/7. So I don't know how I feel about it, man.
Must be comfy though. Like that looks very. I would lay my head on that and fall asleep during the game. So I don't know. That seemed like a kind of dangerous.
Max, I don't know if you'd be falling asleep. You're kind of put it on your head and be like, "Oh, I have hair. This feels nice."
I knew that was
enjoy
coming.
this
I saw him like, it's gonna happen. Jason's gonna do it.
I mean, of course. It's just like, you know, it's something that's guaranteed in life, like death and taxes.
Is that guaranteed? Okay, maybe. I don't know. This is weird. Why did we go back to us?
100% guaranteed.
Well, one thing we can't talk about, Stalwart, man. A surprise team when it comes to CSA, especially considering how the spring season went. Obviously, they did have some major roster changes, even some name changes for a certain player here as we're into the league stage of PMGC. I'm curious if later on we're going to